As the morning light softens around you, let the gentle rhythm of the present ease into the background, carried away by a quiet breeze. Imagine yourself stepping gently from the comfort of your surroundings into a world of ancient stone and wisdom, where the air carries the faint scent of olive groves and the distant murmur of a bustling city. This journey will take you to the sunlit streets of Athens around 400 BCE, a place where the life of a Greek philosopher's apprentice unfolded with both challenge and contemplation. Tonight, we will explore the daily struggles of a young learner, the measured teachings of Aristotle, the enigma of the Antikythera Mechanism, and the contrasting life within Plato's academy, all woven into a steady narrative to guide you toward rest. Settle into the stillness, and let the rhythm of their lives begin to soothe your mind as we embark on this peaceful voyage through history. As the gentle hum of Athens begins to take shape in your mind, let us step softly into the life of a young philosopher's apprentice. The year around 400 BCE, where the rhythm of learning meets the weight of daily struggle. Imagine yourself rising before the sun, the air cool and thick with the scent of dew on olive leaves, the faint rustle of a breeze stirring the curtains of a modest room. This is the world of a young learner in the bustling polis of Athens, a place where wisdom was sought amid the dust of the agora and the flicker of oil lamps. Settle into the steady pace of this life, and let the quiet details guide your thoughts as we explore the challenges that shaped their days. Picture your small dwelling, a single room carved into the side of a modest house, its walls of sun-baked mud brick softened by the passage of time. The floor is cool stone, smoothed by countless footsteps, and a simple pallet of straw and wool serves as your bed, its texture rough against your skin as you rise. The air carries the faint aroma of olive oil from a clay lamp, its weak flame casting a gentle glow across a wooden table cluttered with wax tablets and a stylus, the tools of your trade. Outside, the first light of dawn creeps over the rooftops, the sound of a distant cock crowing blending with the soft clatter of a neighbor grinding grain, a reminder of the city awakening around you. Your day begins with the walk to the agora, the heart of Athens, where philosophers gather. Imagine the path beneath your sandals, a mix of packed earth and scattered pebbles, the dust rising faintly with each step, coating your feet with a fine layer. The air grows warmer as the sun climbs, carrying the scent of baking bread from a nearby stall and the murmur of merchants setting up their wares. Your tunic, a plain weave of linen dyed a faded beige, hangs loosely on your frame, its hem brushing against your legs as you move. The weight of a leather satchel, heavy with scrolls, pulls at your shoulder, a constant reminder of the learning that awaits. Though your stomach grumbles with the sparse meal of barley bread from the night before. At the agora, the scene unfolds with a steady rhythm. Picture the open space, its perimeter lined with porticos, where philosophers pace, their voices low as they debate. You join a group around a teacher, perhaps a follower of Socrates, the air thick with the scent of olive wood burning in a nearby brazier. Your task is to listen, to copy his words onto wax tablets, the stylus scratching softly against the surface, the wax warm under your fingers. The sun climbs higher, its heat pressing against your back, and the effort leaves you weary, your eyes straining to follow the teacher's gestures. His robe a swirl of white against the stone. Hunger gnaws at you, the rhythm of your day a constant struggle to focus amid the fatigue. Food is a simple affair, taken in a shaded corner of the marketplace. Imagine sitting on a stone bench, the texture cool against your hands, as you share a meal with fellow apprentices, a handful of figs, their sweet juice staining your fingers, and a sip of diluted wine from a clay cup, its earthy taste a brief respite. The air carries the faint tang of fish from a vendor's stall, the sound of barter a soft background to your conversation. This sustenance is meager, drawn from what little coin your family provides, and the lack of variety weighs on your body, a quiet challenge to your resolve as you return to your studies. The afternoon brings more labor, the rhythm of learning extending into the evening. Picture yourself back in your room, the lamp's flame flickering as you transcribe notes, the scent of burning oil mingling with the musty smell of parchment. The stylus moves slowly, your hand cramping from the effort, the wax tablets piling up as the night deepens. Outside, the city quiets, the sound of footsteps fading, replaced by the chirp of crickets and the occasional bark of a dog. The cold seeps into the room, the thin walls offering little protection, and you wrap a woolen cloak around your shoulders, its roughness a comfort against the chill. This life carries its shadows. Disease moves through the city, a persistent cough echoing from neighboring homes. Lives sometimes diminished by its touch, though we need not dwell on the particulars. The struggle to afford better food or warmer clothing adds to the burden. Your days a blend of intellectual pursuit and physical endurance. Yet the rhythm persists, walking the dusty paths, copying the teacher's words, resting beneath the olive trees during a brief pause. These moments shape your existence, a quiet testament to the apprentice's life. As the night settles, imagine yourself lying on your pallet, the air still with the scent of oil and straw, the sound of the city a distant hum. The weight of the day eases, the rhythm of your struggle blending into a gentle cadence, guiding your thoughts toward rest. Let this quiet life linger in your mind as we prepare to turn toward a different chapter, carried by the soft flow of history. As the quiet rhythm of the apprentice's day settles into your thoughts, let us gently shift our focus from the dusty streets of Athens to a figure whose teachings shaped the foundations of Western thought. Imagine yourself walking through a shaded grove on the outskirts of the city, the air cool with the scent of pine and the faint rustle of leaves underfoot. As we turn our attention to Aristotle, born in 384 BCE, whose life unfolded with a steady pursuit of knowledge. This is the story of his journey, from student to teacher, a tale woven with contemplation and discovery. Settle into the measured pace of this narrative, and let the rhythm of his days guide your mind as we explore his existence. Picture yourself in the northern Greek town of Stagira, where Aristotle's early years began. The air is fresh with the scent of the sea nearby, the waves lapping softly against the rocky shore, and the landscape dotted with olive trees, their branches swaying in a gentle breeze. His father, Nicomachus, served as a physician to the king of Macedon, and young Aristotle grew up amid the quiet routines of a household focused on healing and observation. The air in their home carried the faint aroma of herbs dried thyme and mint used in remedies, the sound of a mortar grinding softly as his father prepared mixtures. These days instilled in him a curiosity for the natural world, his hands learning to sort leaves and examine specimens, the texture of bark rough against his fingers, a foundation for the systematic thinking that would define his life. At the age of 17, Aristotle journeyed to Athens, the center of philosophical inquiry. Imagine the path he took, a dusty road winding through hills, the the air warm with the scent of wildflowers and the distant bleat of goats. He entered Plato's academy, a grove of olive trees where students gathered in the shade, the ground soft with fallen leaves. The air carried the murmur of discussions, voices low as they pondered ideas of forms and reality. Aristotle's days here were steady, rising early to attend lectures. His tunic, a simple white linen, draped over his frame, the fabric light against his skin. He copied notes on wax tablets, the stylus scratching softly, and participated in dialogues, his mind absorbing the rhythm of debate without haste. After 20 years at the academy, Aristotle's path led him to new horizons. Imagine the quiet farewell to Athens, the air thick with the scent of the sea as he sailed to Assos, invited by a former student. There he married Pythias, the niece of a local ruler, and his days took on a domestic rhythm, the air in their home filled with the aroma of bread baking and the soft sound of a child's laughter, their daughter named after her mother. The constant struggle for Aristotle was balancing inquiry with life's demands, his hands often stained with ink from writing, the parchment crinkling under his fingers, as he documented observations on animals and plants. His most influential chapter began in 343 BCE, when he was summoned to tutor Alexander, the son of King Philip of Macedon. Picture the royal court in Pella, the air cool in the mornings as Aristotle walked the gardens, the scent of roses blending with the distant clang of blacksmiths. His lessons were methodical, days spent discussing ethics and politics, the rhythm of his voice steady as he guided the young prince. The air carried the faint tints of horse sweat from the stables, and Aristotle's hands gestured to scrolls unrolled on a table, the parchment smooth under his touch. This period shaped both teacher and student, though the weight of royal expectations added a quiet pressure, the constant struggle to impart wisdom amid the court's intrigues. When Alexander ascended the throne, Aristotle returned to Athens, founding the Lyceum, a school of peripatetic philosophy, where he and his students walked while discussing ideas. Imagine the grounds shaded by trees, the air filled with the scent of earth after rain, the sound of footsteps on gravel, a soft accompaniment to their conversations. His days were filled with lectures, the rhythm of his words measured, covering topics from biology to metaphysics. He observed dissections, his hands steady as he examined specimens, the texture of scales or feathers, a reminder of the natural world's complexity. The air in the Lyceum carried the faint aroma of olive oil lamps burning late into the night. As he compiled his writings, the parchment piling up in neat stacks. Aristotle's life was not without shadows. Disease touched those around him, lives sometimes diminished by its touch, though we need not dwell on the particulars. Political tensions arose as Alexander's empire expanded, the air in Athens thick with whispers of resentment toward Macedonian influence. Aristotle, linked to the court, faced quiet suspicion, his days a constant struggle to maintain his school amid shifting alliances. When Alexander died in 323 BCE, the rhythm of Aristotle's life changed, and he fled to Chalcis to avoid charges, the air on his journey heavy with the scent of the sea. His final years were spent in reflection, his hands weakened but his mind sharp, the air in his Chalcis home carrying the faint tanks of salt. He passed in 322 BCE, his legacy a vast collection of works, the parchment enduring beyond his time, the rhythm of his life observing, teaching, Writing became a gentle foundation for generations, a steady thread in the tapestry of thought. Imagine the quiet of his study, the stylus resting on the table, the air still as his contributions lingered in the world. As the rhythm of Aristotle's days fades into the shade of the grove, let this gentle tale of inquiry ease your thoughts. The air filled with the scent of olive leaves, the sound of footsteps on gravel, the texture of parchment under his fingers all blend into a soothing cadence, guiding you toward the next mystery in this ancient world. As the steady rhythm of Aristotle's teachings fades into the quiet of the Lyceum, let us gently turn our thoughts toward a mystery that lies beneath the waves, carried by the soft lapping of the Mediterranean Sea. Imagine yourself standing on the deck of a small boat off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera, the years stretching back to around 1900 CE, though our tale begins much earlier. The air is cool, tinged with the scent of salt water and the faint rustle of waves against the hull. As we explore the enigma of the Antikythera Mechanism, a device that whispers of ancient ingenuity, settle into the gentle motion of this journey, and let the rhythm of its discovery guide your mind as we delve into its secrets. Picture the sea around you, its surface a deep blue, rippling under a pale sky, the air carrying the distant cry of a gull. In 1900, a group of sponge divers, their hands roughened by the water, descended into the depths near Antikythera, the coolness of the sea enveloping them as they explored a wreck resting on the ocean floor. The water was clear, the sunlight filtering through in soft beams, illuminating a jumble of ancient cargo amphorae statues and a curious lump of corroded bronze. Imagine the divers' slow ascent, the air bubbling around them as they brought this object to the surface, its weight a mystery in their hands, the texture of its encrusted surface hinting at a story lost to time. This object, now known as the Antikythera Mechanism, dates back to around 150 to 100 BCE, a relic of the Hellenistic period. Picture the moment it was uncovered. The air on the boat filled with the scent of damp wood and the soft murmur of the divers' voices as they examined it. The mechanism was a complex assembly of gears and dials, its bronze plates corroded but etched with Greek inscriptions, the faint lines barely legible under the salt's embrace. Archaeologists later cleaned it with care, the sound of brushes against metal, a gentle scrape, revealing a device that tracked the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, technological marvel from a world of philosophers and mathematicians. The air in the lab carried the earthy scent of preservative chemicals. The rhythm of their work, a quiet pursuit of understanding. The mystery deepens with its origins. Imagine the workshop where it was crafted, perhaps in Rhodes or Pergamon. The air warm with the scent of molten bronze and the faint hum of a forge. A skilled artisan, his hands steady as he shaped the gears. Worked by lamplight, the texture of the metal smooth under his tools. The mechanism's purpose was to predict astronomical events, eclipses, the phases of the moon's dials turning with a precision that suggests a society attuned to the cosmos. The faint clink of metal as pieces were assembled, the air thick with the aroma of olive oil from the lamps. Hints at a culture where science and philosophy intertwined, the constant struggle to measure the heavens, a quiet ambition. Archaeological efforts have unraveled more of its story. Picture a modern laboratory. The air cool and filled with the scent of old paper as researchers study X-ray images. The faint hum of machines blending with their hushed conversations. in 2025, as shared on platforms like X. New scans revealed additional inscriptions, suggesting the device was part of a larger tradition of astronomical tools. Its gears a testament to Greek engineering. The wreck itself, rediscovered in the early 20th century, yielded other artifacts, statues with serene faces, their marbles smooth to the touch, and coins that dated the ship to the 1st century BCE. The sea had preserved these treasures. The waters embrace a gentle cradle, the rhythm of its currents, a silent guardian of the past. As the gentle enigma of the Antikythera Mechanism fades into the quiet ripple of the sea, let us turn our thoughts toward a place of learning and privilege, carried by the soft rustle of leaves in a shaded grove. Imagine yourself standing at the gates of Plato's Academy in Athens, the year around 380 BCE, the air warm with the scent of laurel and the faint hum of bees among the flowers. This is a world of intellectual pursuit and elite routine, contrasting sharply with the apprentice's struggles we explored earlier. Settle into the steady calm of this sanctuary and let the rhythm of their days guide your mind as we explore this contrasting life. Picture the academy, a sprawling garden, enclosed by stone walls, its paths lined with olive trees, their branches swaying gently in the breeze. The air filled with the earthy scent of turned soil and the soft murmur of philosophical debate. The ground beneath your sandals is a mix of gravel and grass, cool to the touch, and the building's simple structures of whitewashed brick offer shaded porticos where students gather. The interior of the main hall is airy, its walls adorned with frescoes of geometric patterns, the faint aroma of wax tablets mingling with the warmth of a small brazier burning olive wood. This is a place of privilege, where the elite of Athens come to refine their minds. A stark contrast to the dusty agora. The day begins for a student of the academy, a young man of noble birth, his life far removed from the apprentice's toil. Imagine him rising from a pallet cushioned with wool and linen, the texture soft against his skin, his tunic a finely woven garment dyed a rich blue, its folds draped elegantly over his frame. The air in his quarters carries the faint scent of lavender hung to freshen the space, and he steps into the garden, the morning light filtering through the trees, the sound of a distant flute adding a gentle cadence to the scene. His breakfast is a measured affair: fresh figs, a slice of honeyed bread, and a cup of watered wine, the sweet aroma filling the air as he eats slowly. The rhythm of his meal a pause before the day's studies. His routine is one of intellectual discipline, guided by Plato himself. Picture the philosopher, his white beard framing a thoughtful face, pacing the colonnade, the air around him thick with the scent of sage from a nearby plant. The students follow, their sandals scuffing softly against the stone, as Plato leads a dialogue on the nature of justice, or the theory of forms, his voice a steady drone that blends with the rustle of leaves. The student takes notes on a wax tablet, the stylus moving with a gentle scratch, his hands warmed by the sun filtering through the branches. The rhythm of these discussions is unhurried, the constant struggle to grasp abstract ideas met with the luxury of time and resources, a privilege denied to the apprentice in the marketplace. The academy also serves as a social hub, a place where the elite gather to refine their status. Imagine an evening gathering, the air filled with the aroma of roasted lamb and the soft clink of ceramic cups as students and visitors share a meal under the stars. The tables are set with olives and cheese, The texture of the bread, coarse yet satisfying, and the conversation flows in a low murmur, punctuated by the occasional laugh. Musicians play a lyre, its strings humming a slow tune, the sound blending with the chirp of crickets in the garden. This is a life of comfort, where the cold of winter is held at bay by thick walls and the labor of servants. A contrast to the apprentice's drafty room, yet this elite existence carries its own quiet burdens. The student must maintain his standing, his days filled with the constant struggle to excel in debates. The air sometimes tense with the weight of expectation. Political shifts in Athens, with its democratic fervor, cast a shadow over the academy. Lives sometimes affected by exile or unrest, though we need not dwell on the details. Disease, too, touched this privileged world, a persistent cough echoing through the halls. But the availability of healers and herbs softened its impact. The rhythm of the student's life, debating in the shade, dining with peers, resting in a cushioned bedriff, flecks a world of intellectual pursuit tempered by social duty. Outside the academy, the apprentice's world continues in contrast. Picture him trudging back from the agora, the dust clinging to his sandals, the air heavy with the scent of sweat and fish, his stomach growling from a meager meal. His nights are spent in a cold room, the sound of the city a distant hum. While the academy student retires to a warm bed, the scent of lavender lingering. The apprentice's hands are rough from copying scrolls, his days a relentless cycle of labor, while the students are softened by the garden's shade and the luxury of learning. This divide, shaped by the polis's social structure, defines the rhythm of Greek life, a quiet interplay of privilege and perseverance. As evening deepens, the student returns to his quarters. The air still with the scent of olive oil from a lamp, the sound of Plato's voice fading into memory. He sits by a small window, the texture of a scroll smooth under his fingers, tracing the words of the day's lesson. The garden outside grows quiet, the wind a soft sigh against the walls, and the academy settles into the night, the contrast between these lives lingering in the stillness. Imagine yourself there, the warmth of the grove easing your thoughts, the rhythm of this world slowing as we prepare to draw our journey to a close. As the quiet of the academy fades into the stillness of the evening, let the rhythm of ancient Athens gently slip away, carried by the soft rustle of olive leaves on a distant breeze. Imagine yourself stepping back from the shaded groves and dusty streets, the scent of laurel and parchment lingering faintly in the air, the sound of philosophical debate growing distant. This journey through the apprentices, struggles, Aristotle's measured teachings, the enigma of the Antikythera Mechanism, and the contrasting life of the academy has woven a tapestry of wisdom and endurance, a steady thread in the fabric of history. The Greeks faced a world of intellectual pursuit and physical challenge, their days filled with the scratch of styluses, the murmur of dialogues, the scent of olive oil in their lamps. The air was warm with the sun's embrace, their hands roughened by copying scrolls or softened by the shade of privilege. There lives a constant balance between learning and survival. Disease and unrest touched their world, lives sometimes diminished by its weight, but these moments were softened by the passage of time, woven into the broader rhythm of their culture. Now, as the day softens around you, let that distant world fade into the comfort of the present. The heat of their streets is replaced by the gentle warmth of your surroundings, the sound of their debates by the quiet of your space. The academy's groves give way to the ease of your own room, where the air carries no dust, and the rhythm of their lives blends into a lullaby for your thoughts. Picture the lamplight dimming, the breeze outside a mere whisper, and allow your mind to drift, carried by the steady flow of history, into the peace of sleep. As this journey ends, let the echoes of their world linger only as a gentle memory, a contrast to the calm you now feel. The rhythm of their struggle, the wisdom of their halls, the mystery of their devices all settle into silence, guiding you toward rest. Sleep now, and let the past fade into the quiet day.